Hey guys, what is happening? AnimetalViking here. Before we get into the show, I would like to encourage you all to please check out the description box below and at the end of this video for the link to Jacob's channel. Please support him. He makes great content, especially if you're into anime and some anti-SJW commentary. Also, please be sure to check out my dear friend Michelle's channel as well and show her some love and support. And yeah, guys, also don't forget, if you enjoy this podcast, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and share this with your friends. And also be sure to check out all the different links in the description box below for all my social media accounts, my Patreon, if you want to keep the channels going and all that other fancy stuff. So, yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And so, yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey guys, what is happening? And welcome to the 6th episode of the AnimetalKast podcast with me, your host, AnimetalViking, my dear friend and fellow YouTuber, MeShellTiel, and Dragonzord571, aka Jacob, who is our honored guest for today's episode. So, guys, how are you all keeping today?
I am alive.
Yay!
That is all.
It's alive! It's alive! So, before we begin, guys, I encourage all of you to check out the description box below and check out the links to Dragonzord's channel and show him all the love and support you can give him. Also, the link to his channel will also be featured at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And also don't forget to check out Michelle's channel as well. That will also be in the description box. So let us begin. So Jacob, can you tell the listeners out there what exactly it is that you do on your channel?
Wide variety. I want to say do a wide variety of things, but in reality, I probably don't do as many variety of things as I do. I guess it literally is. If I want to make an AMV, I'll post an AMV. If I want to make me being a snarky asshole, I'll do that. I'll just do really whatever I want. But I do follow the theme of critique and review, and that's the most common theme that there is on there.
Awesome. Okay. Were there any channels that inspired you to start your channel, and who are some of your influences when it comes to your style and particular kinds of videos you make?
Well, there is sort of the obvious. You have the spoony ones, nostalgia critics, angry video game nerds, Linkaras, the obvious ones. You know, the guys that kind of, in lack of a better term, pioneered it, I guess. But there was also, which my very first video series ever was an incredibly crappy Let's Play of a Pokemon Fire Red hack called Fire Red Omega, which I first heard about through a moderately sized Let's Player channel called Bic Dip on a Bus, and that's actually what got me started in doing it.
That's hilarious. What's the name of that channel again?
Bic Dip on a Bus.
Love it. That's so funny.
Wow. Interesting channel names.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool because yeah, even Gabriel said that Nostalgia Critic was one of his influences as well. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. I dig Nostalgia Critic. He's pretty cool. What is the story behind your channel name? I'm guessing it has something to do with the Power Rangers.
I have been a fan of Power Rangers since forever. And I was like, well, let's see now. Dragonzord is the best Zord out of all of them, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise. So fuck it, why not? It's like, god damn it, I don't care if I was 18 at the time and I'm making this and I am an adult. I will be childish.
Hey, why not? Hey, we don't care.
I am an adult.
We're on the same boat, man.
No, but that's awesome, man. That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with Power Rangers. We all grew up on that shit. So yeah. Let's see. Now you're obviously a huge fan of not only anime, but kaiju franchises as well. Now, I've never been much of a giant monster guy, whether we're talking kaijus or other creatures like King Kong. But could you perhaps enlighten us as to why this particular fan base is as passionate as it is, and what do you think makes this franchise so appealing?
Well, obviously there's the obvious appeal of preying on sort of the juvenile natures of people of seeing, hey, here's a giant monster. There's another giant monster. They're in the middle of a city. Let's see what happens. And we all know what happens. There is that juvenile base kind of appeal to it, obviously, but you'll obviously go back to the inceptions of the genre. You go back, you could say King Kong was sort of that. I wouldn't say King Kong kind of fits into that because it did inspire kaiju films like Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, which of course we all know, which eventually led into Godzilla, and the rest is history from there. But you look at King Kong, it was a tale of humanity's greed, basically sort of biting them back in the ass and taking. It's also maybe sort of an unintentional environmental message about taking something from its natural habitat, bringing it to the modern world, and just shit goes awry. And then, of course, you go to the original Godzilla, and, well, he was the representation of the atomic bomb. The movie is dark as hell. It's pretty depressing at points, and it sort of kind of set the standard, because afterwards you got the sort of the boom of the tokusatsu stuff, which you could argue maybe would have been there without Godzilla's influence, but maybe not. It wouldn't have been as prominent because you had the Kamen Riders, the Super Sentais, which eventually led into Power Rangers many years down the road. And then, of course, you had Gamera, you had so much other stuff. So, and the reason why I think that a lot of fans are passionate about it is because we grew up on this shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We grew up on it, and there is. You know, you go to people cross generations. You have people in their 40s who grew up on it, people in their 20s like me. And I'm pretty sure you could find people who maybe are reaching their 50s who are watching this stuff. It's at some point in time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know? Well, I mean, it's you get your Monster Island. Monster Island's got Mothra. There's like I mean, it's been around for a while, and everybody's got their favorite monster.
63 years now? Godzilla's been around for 63 years. Kong has been around for over 70. Yeah, 63 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. I would say that King Kong fits into the group. I think so.
Especially after Kong Skull Island, when they gave him a huge size update.
Yeah.
What I was thinking about while you were busy describing all of this, do you think that maybe because, like, obviously on the surface, when you look at, like, these kaiju things, or not the kaiju, the other giant monsters like King Kong and stuff, like, on the surface, it just looks like, giant monsters beating the crap out of one another. And but yet it has all these different layers of, more deeper meaning to it and all that stuff. Do you think maybe, just maybe, it kind of takes influence now? Anyone out there who is a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, please do not bash me for suggesting this, but do you think maybe H.P. Lovecraft's like whole maybe some of his works where he basically came up with these ideas and stuff and made these creatures the concept for whatever, do you think maybe these people took influence from that and put it into these other creatures?
Undoubtedly, I do think that, as a fan of Lovecraft myself, but the idea of these otherworldly, cosmic, godlike, incomprehensible beings, I think, probably could have played somewhat of a role, maybe not in Inception, but certainly in a lot of later films, because there are a lot of these elements of cosmic horror, maybe not to the level of, well, if you look at it, you go insane to the cults and dot, but I do think there is some layer of that Cthulhu mythos, to be precise, because he did other stuff than the Call of Cthulhu. He did Reanimator.
Yes.
One of my... he wrote Reanimator.
I love the Reanimator series, man.
Yeah, but he did. But in terms of Cthulhu mythos, I do think even if it may be unintentional, or maybe if you're looking at it in a sense of, well, maybe.
Yeah.
There still is some form of influence there.
Yeah, because Lovecraft did the whole, as you say, the whole going insane, these incomprehensible space dimensional creatures, representing that kind of a fear, and then you got as you said, the kaijus and stuff with the whole nuclear thing, and King Kong with taking one thing out of its environment, putting it in ours. It's basically just taking a concept and representing it as something like that. Obviously, I'm not suggesting Godzilla's fucking cosmic god, but that's why I had to ask. Yeah.
It depends. I mean, there is a comic series that says it's called Godzilla Goes to Hell. Godzilla
really?
in Hell. Yeah, he goes to. I legit have issue 4 somewhere around here. I don't have the entire series, but I've read it. He goes to hell.
Like Jason.
He breaks out. Yeah, kind of like Jason. Yeah.
Oh gosh! Wow. And then what happens?
Oh shit! Well, let's see. He goes to hell. He kills a bunch of demons. He gets eaten by he kills a fucking Cthulhuoid-looking god. Eats a bunch of fairies and gains their power. No, I did not make that up. And then in the final issue, if I'm remembering correctly, he gets devoured by a bunch of hellbats. Then the hellbats reform to become him. And then he destroys the gatekeeper, and then he escapes.
Oh my fucking gosh! Wow!
My goodness!
It's amazing.
Was that a 80s or a 90s comic? Because I know that was the era where
that came out in, I think, 2015.
What? Oh, sorry.
It was pretty recent. It was like 2014, 2015. It was only a few years ago.
That seemed like some 80s horror to me.
My voice went as high as yours.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I mean,
what?
usually stuff like that, that kind of storyline you would get out of 80s horror. So it shocked me when he said, 2015. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I'm reading a fucking. Well, I mean, I need to finish it, but I'm reading Rulers of Earth right now, and that's straight out of a fucking 60s era Godzilla movie. It's just straight out of. But it's treated with the gravity and the seriousness of the 90s era Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
There are tentacle aliens taking the shape of humans and are trying to take over the world.
Wow.
Well, we are fucked. So yeah, no, but that's pretty cool. Like I said, I was never really a big fan of the giant monster stuff. I had a friend who was really into it. Back when I was a kid, and that probably explains why I liked playing games like Monster Hunter Freedom and shit. But no, and he was also pretty much into Alien and Predator as well. He got me into that, so I can thank him.
I love Predator.
Yeah,
I love Predator
for fucking life. So, but yeah, well, unless he kills you, then it's not for life. But yeah,
you need to be a worthy trophy though. So if you look and act pathetic as possible, he'll just leave you alone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
True, unless it's I don't know, but for some strange reason he communicates with the human, and the human says, "Yeah, you see that YouTube critic? Yeah, I don't fucking like him. Just fucking kill him. He's not." He's worthy of killing because he pisses me off, and he'll piss you off too. Yeah, no, but that's really cool. That you enjoy the kaiju thing this much, because I actually know another YouTuber who does a series called kaiju commentary. I'll link you to his channel. He's also an author as well. I think he wrote a few books or something, but now he has a YouTube channel. He's very much into kaiju stuff. So I think if you want to check his stuff out, I'll link you his channel once the podcast is over.
Okay.
Awesome.
I used to love watching. I used to love watching it when I was younger, but then they came out with Godzilla's son, and I just kind of lost interest because it wasn't like I've seen a couple of Monster Island movies where the kids running around getting beat up by a monster and the dad has to come and save him. I don't even know I don't know the name of the monster. It's like some sort of cat with like.
You're talking about Godzilla's Revenge. You're talking about Gabra, and then talking about when Minya starts fucking talking.
Yeah, I hate that.
And the movie, all the stuff in Monster Island never took place. It was all in this little kid's demented imagination.
Okay, so it's not canon. It's not canon. Thank goodness, because that was some crap. I lost interest after that, and I quit watching.
The Godzilla canon is more fucked than the Zelda timeline.
Oh man.
No, just the movies alone.
Really?
The movies alone, you have. Let's see now. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think you have like, not counting comics in the movies. We're gonna have like 9 separate continuities when Monster Planet comes out.
Wow.
Oh God.
And here's the thing.
Wow.
Every single one, aside from the last 3 that have come out in recent years since Legendaries, every single one has had connections to the very first film. So it's just this giant clusterfuck of where does it take place? Does it fucking matter when it takes place?
It's kind of like, that sounds kind of like the DCEU at the moment.
Don't you? How dare? How dare?
No offense to it, but I mean, like, obviously I enjoyed Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, but Suicide Squad I was like, and then I haven't seen Wonder Woman yet, and Claudio keeps telling me Wonder Woman, and I'm like, I haven't seen it, bro.
I hated Batman v Superman so goddamn much.
You hate it?
I hated it. I'm like, how do you fuck Martha?
The greatest meme of 2016.
Yeah.
Martha must save Martha.
Oh man.
Couldn't you just say, I have to save my mom, he has my mom, I have to save my mom? Why does it have to be Martha?
I don't know, but I guess it would sound kind of silly if Superman's like, gotta save my mommy, and then it's like, your mommy? What are you, fucking 2 years old?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, though. I completely understand. I'm just like thinking, like, if he's like, can't you say my mom? I'm like, oh my god. But yeah. Now, let's see. Oh yes. Okay. So, like I said earlier, you're also a fan of anime. So, what was the first anime you ever watched, and when did you decide that you were going to explore the medium a lot more?
Oh shit, man, that's a tough one. See, I grew up in the days of Kids WB, Toonami, and Fox Kids. So, yeah.
You got a variety.
Oh fuck. What's the first one? I'm just gonna go with Digimon, actually. Digimon or Pokemon, one of the two. Was the first anime I saw. Shouldn't keep people in my era. That shouldn't be too surprising. But
yeah.
Then when I first experienced Toonami, it was just like, wow, this is awesome. But when I first started exploring it, wasn't until like several years later when I think I was like 18 or something, was when I first started exploring it deeper, because I was a filthy casual for most of my life. All I would watch was what would come on Netflix, what I could find on Netflix, because a lot of the streaming sites were absolute garbage. I'm a filthy dub-loving fake otaku, so that probably had a lot to do with it. So
there's nothing wrong with dubs. Nothing wrong at all.
I know there's nothing wrong with dubs, but it's like when I say, it's like, hey, hey man, like, are you gonna hey man, the new season, the new thing of Blue Exorcist out. I'm like, oh cool. It's like, is it like, oh cool? And I look up like, oh, the dub's not out. And they're like, hey, did you watch it? No, I'm gonna wait for the dub to come out. Traitor!
Yeah, you can
burn him at the
traitor.
A lot of shit from certain people. Yeah, some people can't handle.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like, I mean, I like both. It's just I feel like I'll when it comes to dubs, I'll probably watch like the classic anime that had like really good dubs, and everyone's like, okay, this is really good dub. I'll check that out. And also sometimes I guess context matters. Like, I mean, like the only time I made an exception with context was Spice and Wolf, because I could not stand the casting they chose for the Lawrence and Hollow. In that, I couldn't stand their voices. I was like, no, you know what, Hollow sounds way too fucking old for the, you know, the human form she takes. I'm like thinking I can understand if that's a wolf voice, but like, I'm like, no. So the only time I watched the European fantasy in Japanese was Spice and Wolf. Otherwise, every other time I'm like, no, fuck it, it's the dub. This is taking place. Like, that's why I love the Berserk dub so much, because you can tell it's the Berserk dub.
Someone who shares that
so
kind
good.
of same.
Yeah.
Someone who shares that kind of same logic. I'm like, okay, especially if some shit like Black Lagoon.
Oh like, yes, Black Lagoon, definitely.
It's like it's like you realize it's especially that one Chinese chick. According to the show, within the context of the show's universe, she is speaking broken off the boat English. So why the fuck is she speaking perfect Japanese? Why is this American former NYPD officer speaking Japanese? Why is the white Jewish man speaking Japanese? Why is this Russian bitch speaking
Japanese? Or the black
Japanese?
guy, yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
No, but the English voice actors they got, like I can't remember the actor's name. The guy who voices Dutch, he's fucking rad. He was good. Obviously, Revi's voice I prefer in the English, because when you hear the English in the Japanese one, I'm like, nah, this doesn't sound badass. It sounds cringy. And then
it does.
Yeah, and
then it's just my this is gonna sound really stupid, or I don't know how to take it how you want. I just don't like Japanese acting. I don't know if they're doing a good job, if they're doing a bad job, if they're half-assing it, if they're overacting. Yeah, it sounds the fucking same to me. I'm sorry, it does.
Yeah, but like you say, each to his own. Like I don't mind it, but I can tell. Like I'm not gonna claim I'm some kind of expert here. I'm not Japanese, but yeah. I really don't mind the Japanese. I like a lot of performances. I like a lot of voice actors and voice actresses, especially when I can pick them out and be like, oh, it's that guy, oh, it's that guy. But otherwise, I'm not like one of those people who are literally like, oh, if you watch us so much as one fucking dub, you are a traitor to the anime community. Get the fuck out of here. So I'm just like,
title.
Oh, yeah.
I have one title for those people: Ghost Stories.
Yeah. Ghost Stories. That was the fucking
I only
shit,
just
man.
recently found out about that, but I guess the backstory on that is when the anime came over here, they pretty much said, here it is, do what you want. There was like no contract or anything that stated that they had to.
It tanked so hard.
Yeah. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is how I feel about the dub. Is that if I watch something in dub first, then I have to watch the dub. If I see something in Japanese first, then I prefer the Japanese version. It's like whatever I see first, that's what version I go with. It's like my brain like sticks with that.
Yeah.
And
it's like all the fuck ton of Blade Runner cuts out there.
Yeah.
That's a topical joke for a movie that fucking bombed opening weekend.
Yeah, I'm still gonna check out that anime short though. That actually looks a lot more interesting than the actual movie. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, no, Michelle, I can totally get where you're coming from. Like back when I was still a young anime fan, a very young anime fan, that was how I used to do it as well. Also, whichever one I saw first, I was like, fuck, I'm not checking out the Japanese if I've seen the English, or I'm not checking out the English if I've seen Japanese. But like now, I look at a story, I look at its synopsis, And then what I do is this, is like, if the dub has an episode out while the Japanese is airing, I'll go like this. I'll be like, okay, let's watch the first episode, see which one fits. Because like I said before, I made an exception with Spice and Wolf because I just didn't agree with the casting for Lawrence and Hollow. So
but J. Michael Tatum.
I
He's
know.
Sebastian.
I know, but it just I don't know. It just felt so weird. I don't know, but it was mainly Hollow. It was mainly Hollow. I was like, she takes on the form of like what, a 15, 16-year-old girl. I don't fucking care if you're an immortal vampire or an immortal werewolf or or wolf deity. If you take on the form of something that is appropriate of fucking age, you don't like make the voice sound like she's fucking possessed by Satan or something like that. No offense to anyone who likes the dub. No offense to anyone who likes the dub.
I could top that. No, so check this out, okay?
What?
I was watching some hentai in dub.
Oh god.
Don't do it.
God. Which one? Which one? Was it Bible Black?
Was it anything? It was. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Central Park Media, fuck the world.
There was this old lady voice, dude, and I mean really old lady, right? Hey baby, we gonna get it on.
That's Central Park
Media. It was so horrible, dude. Media. And I mean, how are you supposed to get off to that? You can't. You can't. It's like a...
Granted, I questioned how you could get off to Bible Black in the first place.
Well, some boys are freaky, but seriously though, yeah, it was a super old lady voice.
But here's the thing, you have yet to see Central Park Media suck. That's not their worst.
I've seen it all, man. Go ahead, name something. I've probably seen it. But
Garzy's Wing. Have you seen Garzy's Wing?
Okay, no, I actually haven't seen that.
You watch have you seen any of the Korean knockoff anime?
Yeah, I've seen some of that. I have.
Oh gosh, how we go to Spice and Wolf to Bible Black? Fuck me.
Because the voices, man. That's why. But yes, seriously, it was so bad that I couldn't even believe it. I was like, oh, this is horrible.
But everyone knows that fucking hentai dubs suck ass, and no pun intended. Like fucking hell, they are shit. They are shit. Like if you want the cringiest voice acting in the world, you don't even need to, go to like any the worst movie nostalgia critic reviews. You can literally just go like, oh, fucking, there's bad hentai. Fuck that.
La Blue Girl. Nah, La Blue Girl did a good job. If you'd ever seen, that's a classic. Come on, you had to have seen La Blue Girl.
La Blue Girl. I haven't seen. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen La Blue Girl.
Her dub is awesome, and that's a hentai show. So is Leatherband. So there's a couple of them out there that have dubs that are actually you can actually.
I remember there was one with I saw a clip. It was the character voiced by Dan Green, and he's saying "squawk like a chicken" in fucking a Thames voice, and I'm like, oh, so this is how the Pharaoh gets down. I'm like, I am not surprised that a Tam would be into this shit.
Oh god. Oh.
Poor Dan Green.
Wow.
It must have sucked being stuck in New York at the time when he was still prominently voice acting, because Jesus Christ. It's like, say what you want about 4Kids. They had talented people. They just had shitty people running the business. Now
this podcast will be deleted because we're talking about hentai.
Not advertiser friendly.
Susan Wojcicki is after us, people.
It's like not advertiser friendly. Oh.
Shoot, they probably have no idea what we're talking about anyway. They're like, hentai, what the heck is that? They probably don't even know.
They'll Google it because they're part of Google. They'll be like, hey, Google, can you Google this for me? Fucking hell. Okay, Bible Black aside.
Okay.
Russell, I don't know why you invite me to these things. I'm always so...
You've never brought this shit up before.
Yes, I have. What are you talking about? Yes, I have.
You You literally, in past podcasts, you've just been like, I've watched a bit of hentai, but you've never gone like in depth to the voice acting and the animation.
I've talked about the titties coming out on Vampire Hunter D, and you know I did.
Yeah, but Vampire Hunter D is not a hentai.
So I still talked about titties. I mentioned titties.
There's a difference between flashing the titty and groping them.
Well, damn, you got me there,
no,
man.
you just need to watch 7 Mortal Sins for that shit.
Oh, yes.
Fuck that show. Fuck that show.
Oh, gosh. What was I going to ask you now? Fuck, I lost my place. Okay, here we are. What would you say are your favorite anime of all time?
In no particular list in order.
Yeah, no lists. Fuck lists, just in any order.
Okay, I'll do my best to get 5. In no particular order, it's Trigun.
Nice.
My brain is failing me.
I know, I hate this question. I can never, like, just spit out titles and start thinking, what's a...
The thing is, I have this shit written down. It's just some way... literally, so for, like, a fucking list I was going to do, but I lost the piece of paper. So it just didn't happen, but... Claymore.
Oh, that's a good show. I like that.
Yeah. Guyver the Bio-Boosted Armor.
Haven't seen that yet.
D. Gray Man, and then this is my hands down my favorite, and I don't give a shit what anyone says. Fairy Tail is my number 1.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
No, that's good. That's cool. The thing with me is that I only watched the what you could consider the first season of Fairy Tail before that went on that hiatus and then came out with the 2014 one. Other than that, I fell off the boat. I don't mean to have a Natsu joke if that's the case or anything like that, but seriously. But no, I don't know why people hate Fairy Tail, to be honest. I just dropped it because, I don't follow ongoing shows anymore. I've literally fell off that wagon a long time ago. I stick to the mini shows, the ones that actually get to the fucking point and stuff. But I mean, like, ongoing shonen are nice to revisit from time to time, and I really don't get why Fairy Tail gets so much hate. I mean, the fight scenes were cool. I really dig the openings. Animation was pretty decent, and the comedy I thought was hilarious, especially when it's fucking every time Natsu and Happy are together and they just make fun of Lucy. I just thought that was the most hilarious shit ever. So like,
yeah, they got some good characters.
Like,
they do. They got some.
Oh yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
They do. I think one piece is like there's always the fucking meme. There's always a thing where it's like friendship conquers all. I'm like, hey,
that's for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can say the same thing about Pokemon and nobody says crap about it.
Yeah, you could say like Christ, fuck. There was this one show where people fuck. I can't remember. It was this. Fuck it. I don't know. My brain's not working right now. But one thing I liked about at least the first run of Fairy Tail before it went on the hiatus was, well, the animation itself was just passable. I liked the art style and the art direction. It was very cartoonish, very cartoony.
Yes.
And I know associating anime and cartoons in the same sentence is blasphemy. Even though I won't get into that subject fucking right now. That's like 2-hour debate in and of itself. But I liked I don't want to say Walt Disney-ish, but all the characters had the wide eyes, very unique. And then like when they switched to the new animation, it's like the animation got objectively better, but for some reason a lot of time it seemed like there was this gray filter over everything. I'm like, show some color. You were really colorful. Like that's why I kind of liked you. You were pretty colorful.
Do you know what it's like they're trying to do? From what I've seen from clips, it's like they want to retain that that colorful and happy thing of the story from the first run, but then they in case the story gets really dark, okay, we gotta have a Berserk 1997 kind of filter over it, just for a little bit, and then it's like, bro, you can't even compare Fairy Tail to Berserk. Don't.
No, Like, Christ, I haven't. Even if I would see it, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't. On an objective level, I wouldn't. That's not a good idea, man.
But that's alright though, because like I genuinely don't understand why Fairy Tail gets so much hate. I mean, like, it's really not as bad as people think it is. But like I said before, I don't really keep up with ongoing shows anymore because like there's so many like like Claudio is the main person responsible for this shit. Claudio said to me last year because I was on a hiatus from watching anime. I was more into superhero shows and stuff early last year and for the majority of the year previous. So Claudio says to me like, "Oh, have you watched Serial Experiments Lane? Have you watched Cowboy Bebop? Have you watched that stuff?" So I'm like, "No, I've never seen any of that shit. I've only seen the stuff that I've seen from high school up until the point where I stopped." So then he kept on my case. He was like, "Dude, when are you fucking watching this shit?" So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go watch this shit." And now that I've found all these mini shows that get to the point and stuff and are obviously, they're these critically acclaimed classics and stuff. Now, as I was saying to you before we started the podcast, Jacob, I'm gonna keep up with these old shows and watch these so that I make sure I don't die not having seen them. While at the same time, because of my YouTube channel, because nobody cares about the older stuff, it's like, I've got to watch all the new shit, even though like a good chunk of them I don't particularly enjoy.
That's a conundrum.
Well, I was kind of beneficial because like Funimation released like 12 episodes of the dub every so often, so I wasn't following it like every single week. I was binging what part Funimation released. So that's unlike the one shonen I actually followed from beginning to end, whether it be through the dub, sub, whatever, was Bleach.
Oh yes, I managed to complete Bleach. Funny enough,
I didn't finish it. I only watched. I watched what they released, and then it got to like a spot where it was like a hiatus where nothing came out, and I just quit watching. I didn't go back.
Stop after episode 342 because everything after that's a fucking waste of time.
I
heard there was filler. I heard there was like a ton of filler in it.
Oh, Bleach had more filler than Naruto Shippuden. Like Naruto Shippuden has a shit ton of filler.
Oh God!
It got only worse. It's only.
All of almost half of Naruto is filler. Like the entire anime itself, not just part 1 and part 2. But here's the thing: it's real easy to skip those filler arcs because it's not very subtle when they happen. Aside from the Bount arc, which happens right after the Soul Society stuff is done with, which it's like I thought that was part of the canon.
I honestly thought so as well. But it was only when that final showdown happened between Ichigo and shit. I'm like, this is very similar to the way the battle scene played out when he fought Byakuya. It's on the same location. There's almost similar shit, and I'm like, just get to the point, damn it.
Exactly. I mean, I will say some of like the filler episodes, not arcs, like the freaking Halloween special, the Arabian Nights special. I thought those were actually pretty cool.
Well, some fillers cool.
I like them.
My favorite filler episode from Bleach is the one where Ikaku is the kendo shit and the kendo team thing. Like that, I thought was the most fucking hilarious episode in the whole show.
Was amazing.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
And the way
I even liked the.
Yeah, and
you go ahead.
Sorry, and the arts was even more exaggerated, especially like, oh my god, like that's why I love that episode so much, because like there were parts where the art was still the same, but because it was so comedic and they exaggerated the people's expressions, and Ikaku was just so into the kendo shit, I was like, this is fucking hilarious. I fucking dig this episode.
Yeah. I even liked the beach episode.
The beach,
like the inevitable. They had a beach episode.
There's always a beach episode. There's always a
hot
I
can't remember that one.
Shameless. It wasn't as shameless as you'd think it is. But yeah, they had it. Also, now that we're talking about, I'm waiting for Funimation to dub the fucking Rave Master Fairy Tail crossover OVA if they ever do that.
Oh, there was a crossover?
I didn't know that.
There is a Rave Master Fairy Tail crossover OVA.
Wow. Okay, I'm interested in checking that out actually, because it's so rare that like crossovers happen in fucking animes.
They're made by the same guy. The manga is made by the same dude.
Wow.
It's both the mangas.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at this point in time, the only shonen I've been watching lately, although obviously most of them came to an end, or in the case of one particular show, it could either end at some point if the studio behind it is like, okay, we got to end the shit, we're not animating it forever. So that one is being My Hero Academia. That one is a really fucking good show.
I'm glad you finally started watching
that.
How long have we been telling you to watch it, Russell? Did you watch it yet? Did you watch it?
I'm almost done with and I'm doing a episode of a podcast with it coming soon. I've invited Weeaboo Reacts back to talk about it because he fucking loves the shit out of that show.
I do too.
Oh, it's so amazing.
We should all be on it.
Yeah, we should all be on it. Let's see what else. Okay, My Hero Academia. I recently finished Air Gear. Now I know what's his name, the artist who does Air Gear. I know his stories aren't 100%, make fucking sense all the time, and they just escalate from being something so simple and cool to being outlandishly ridiculous. But Air Gear was pretty dope. I thought it combined all the elements of anime that I used to watch as a kid, which I liked, coupled with some of the stuff that, would be allowed for someone of my age to view, and some slightly more mature things in there. But, yeah, it's not the most perfect anime, but I thought it was a really good shonen. What else? Obviously, Blue Exorcist is pretty fucking dope, and there's one or two...
Oh, I like Blue Exorcist, yeah. It's not a season 2, but
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't...
I won't spoil it, but it's not a season 2.
Is it more like a separate thing on its own, or something like that?
Kind of. It takes place after when people find out who Rin is, basically. It's like a little separate offshoot.
Okay. But I'll still check it out regardless, because, the original series, those fucking, the opening themes especially, that shit.
Oh, the second one was amazing. I love the opening
Well,
themes.
who did it? Rookies is Punk. So they're one of my favorite Japanese rock bands of all time. They're fucking amazing guys. So yeah, no, but I haven't been watching too much shonen. I've been watching a shit ton of seinen or other kinds of stuff. But yeah, it's shonen still has its place. I grew up on a lot of shonen shows and all that. So obviously I'm not gonna disregard it entirely. So yeah. But yeah, no, those are some pretty interesting choices, Jacob. I actually finished Trigun at about midway this year, just before I went to my mini holiday, and it was fucking dope. I'm so glad I checked it out. And obviously after that, I was watching classics like Witch Hunter Robin, Gungrave, and all these things. It's just been a fucking blast all around. So yeah, no, those are some really interesting choices. So now. We've been talking about anime. Now, we also talk about music on this podcast. So, Jacob, do you have any favorite bands, genres, anything you'd like to talk about?
Music for me, I like music. My main thing that I like to listen to is rock, whether it be hard rock or metal or just really any sort of anything that I just like, but I don't really have any list of favorite bands, but if I really had to name one band that I like more than others, it'd probably be AC/DC.
Oh, AC/DC are fucking awesome.
That's really cool, man. You never really hear anybody say some old school bands like AC/DC or The Doors or, older bands.
Ramones.
I grew up on that shit.
That's cool.
That's cool. No, but AC/DC are fucking a great band. I don't care what a lot of people say about them. I'll be the first to admit that I don't think they're the greatest band in the world, but if it weren't for what they did, we probably wouldn't even have fucking heavy metal, so horns up to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, but, as you can probably tell, Jacob, I'm a super fucking music nerd, as well as being an anime.
I thought you were a connoisseur of lamps.
A connoisseur of lamps. Yes.
Yeah.
If this podcast was being done camera style, you'd see all the fucking lamps in this living room.
Oh my god.
Got any lava ones?
That would be amazing. Oh God!
I wish
someone needs to come up with a gimmick where it's just like their entire like recording room is filled with lamps and like it's never explained.
Yeah, they should. Fucking hell, they should.
There'd be conspiracy theories and stuff, and all kinds of theories. Why are there lamps there? I know the answer.
and get people talking about your channel at least in some capacity, and anything to help you beat them broken ass analytics.
But yeah. Now, I know you say off the top of your head you say AC/DC, but now you say metal. I just want to list 5 bands, and you just tell me whether you know them or not, and whether you like them or not. So, Metallica.
I love Metallica.
Sweet, awesome. Opeth.
Never heard of them.
Oh man, you've missed it out, but okay, it's understandable you forget. Let's see. Maximum the Hormone.
I have never heard of them.
They did the second opening and ending for Death Note.
Ooh.
Oh, them. Okay, yeah, I've heard of. I mean, I just yeah. Okay.
I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know who did that. I didn't know who did the opening.
You didn't know, Michelle.
I did.
Michelle, this is blasphemy. I'll have to send you links as homework.
Yeah, but I don't like tear apart the anime and to review it or anything. I just watch it. You know what I mean?
It's in the credits, Michelle. But
I don't read credits. Who the hell reads credits other than the critics? I don't read no damn credits.
No one reads the credits unless the opening animation is boring as fuck. So, 4th band. Let's go with something a bit more extreme. Let's see. Cannibal Corpse.
I have heard of it, but I have not listened to anything of them.
Okay, so at least you're familiar with them. And finally, Dimmu Borgir.
That sounds German.
Actually Norwegian.
Oh, Norwegian. I have not heard of them.
Okay, all right. No, that's all right. That's all good. No, I was just want to say. Okay, so you know Metallica and stuff. So I take it you grew up on a lot of not just classic rock, but maybe a lot of classic heavy metal and maybe some 80s thrash, because Metallica one of the big 4 of thrash.
Oh yeah, Iron Maiden. I grew up with Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah, Maiden are good.
Oh yeah, Iron Maiden. Dio. Love me some
Dio.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Ronnie James Dio.
Also Disturbed.
Oh, new metal.
I'm really big into Disturbed.
I love Disturbed as well.
I know, it's like you look at the whole new metal landscape.
Yeah.
Like you look at it, you're like, oh, good God! You see, Linkin Park, they're okay.
They were the
Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit can fucking die. It's like fuck them for giving the Undertaker the fucking when Undertaker was doing his American Badass shit, one of their songs was one of his like 3 different fucking themes. Rolling, 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 rolling. Yeah,
really?
Rolling.
The Undertaker had rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's doing his American Badass gimmick, he had rolling.
Oh my.
That's why This is why we never talk about the American Badass thing.
Yeah, because you know what? I don't mind Limp Bizkit. I actually enjoy some of their shit, but not because of Fred Durst and whatever. It's just because they're so funny you can't take them seriously. So
I know.
So Atman Todd, actually our first guest, Atman Todd did a hilarious AMV where he lip synced the song Nookie that they did to the anime Kanan. And it was fucking hilarious. So I was just like, this is the greatest shit ever. So
Canon, to make that anime any good.
Let's see. New metal. Like, it was so funny with new metal. Like you say, like almost every band had a gimmick of some sort, but there were a lot that didn't, obviously, and Disturbed were one of them. So. Disturbed, if you just look at them, it's like, it's just a bald Jewish guy with some piercings and a bunch of pretty normal metalhead looking guys, you know, in a band. And then you got a band like fucking Mudvayne where the one guy looks like a spiky strawberry and the other guy's got a and the vocalist has got like white paint with some black things and blue hair and a really long ass blue beard, and the fucking bassist is bald.
You're not Kiss.
Yeah.
You are not Kiss. You will never be Kiss. Get the fuck out of here.
Although the black metal bands really took the Kiss thing too far.
Oh yeah, it's like, no, you are not Kiss. You are not Kiss.
Nobody can top Guar. Nobody can top Guar when it comes to that. Costumes.
Have you seen Lordy's costumes? Lordy of...
Lord, yeah.
Yeah. What
You know, that's the first thing I thought of too. It was from South Park. Stan's dad, Lord. Lord.
Randy Marsh is Lord.
Yeah.
But
I am Lord, yeah.
But do you know of Lordy Jacob?
No, I don't.
Oh, these guys. Look, if you like horror stuff, you'll dig their music videos. Their costumes are fucking rad. But do you know what's the funny part though? Their music does not fit their look. Like these guys look like some scary ass shit, and then you got this guy who's like rock and roll angels with that hard rock hallelujah, and then you're like, it doesn't fit, but it's still good music, so I'm not arguing there. So, but, yeah. No, but you should check them out. Lordy are pretty dope if you're into Gua, any of those kinds of bands with the costumes. But yeah, I like what you said that you're not Kiss with Mudvayne. I'm like, I think Mudvayne were trying to be super edgy as fuck. Even though a lot of their songs I pretty much dig. No pun intended. I know there's a song called Dig. So Dig, bury me.
What about Wes Scantlin? What's your opinion on Wes Scantlin?
Wes Scantlin? Wait, oh fuck, the guy from Puddle of Mud. That dude.
Yes.
Fuck that guy. My gosh, he's such a douchebag. He's always getting drunk and high and shit. He collapses on stage at shows. Oh my gosh. Look, I love the song. I love the song Blurry, but that's the only song by that band that I like. Everything else can go fuck itself.
Do you watch Regretting the Past?
I never heard of that show.
It's by this guy who does. He makes videos based on reviewing rock albums and rock songs, and he has a series called Regretting the Past, where he takes a look about #1 selling albums, that were bad, whether they be by good artists, like I think it was Saint Anger by Metallica.
Oh god, we never speak of Saint Anger.
Yeah, or the holy Triforce of crap of Creed, Linkin Park, and Limp Bizkit.
Creed,
you should check them out.
We got Creed coming back in.
Fuck it, my mom used to listen to fucking Creed. Can you take me higher?
Well, they are better than Nickelback. Nickelback are a walking meme.
No, Nickelback. I said Linkin Park. No, I didn't mean Linkin Park. I meant Nickelback. Fuck. Why did I say I was trying to think of...
Because Linkin Park... No, it's fine. Linkin Park's everywhere now, so it's kind of hard to, escape them.
Yeah. But it's like...
Rest in peace, Chester. We'll miss you.
Look at this photograph.
You're crawling in my skin. No, but seriously, rest in peace, Chester. Like, if it weren't for that guy, I wouldn't be into metal as it is. But, fuck me. Jeez, I don't know. But, that's pretty cool that you at least raised on that stuff. I kind of guessed that based on your channel opening. Because let's face it, as much as the conservative political parties were trying to stamp out heavy metal at the time, you can pretty much find it in every theme song for cartoons. Like it was in Spider-Man, it was in X-Men, it's even in Power Rangers. Yeah, metal was in fucking everything when we were growing up, and nowadays it's like I don't know.
Oh, Power Rangers, man.
Mm.
Even to this day, in a lot of ways, it's kind of like when you have a season of anime that's known for having really good openings. Like, let's say Blue Exorcist, for example.
Yeah.
Power Rangers was like that. It's just like, oh my god, it's like, oh my god, what's the theme song going to be like this year? Because it has a lot of very good ones.
Yes, I agree.
The Theo theme being my favorite, because it's like you have the chorus in the background, and it just goes in this epic riff.
Yeah. That's fucking, yeah, like, I miss the days when opening themes were something you look forward to, because unfortunately there's so many opening themes in anime now, like, not all of them, but there are a good portion that literally sound exactly the same, and I'm like, sitting there and I'm like, I don't care if you have the most beautiful animation, if you've got the same annoying high-pitched voices to a very kind of a beat, and it's like, oh, please, no. But, I mean, like, of course, when something good comes along, like, for example, a prime example, I don't know if you saw my top 10 anime openings video, Jacob, but,
I did.
Yeah, the opening for Kisniver, oh my gosh, was I blown away by that fucking song, like, oh my gosh, like, normally I'd have a classic song up there, because the classics are the classics, but I was just so blown away by that song, and Trigger's animation is fucking dope, so I was just like, man, this is pop music done right. This is pop music done right. Like a Boom Boom Satellites fucking annihilate every Western pop artist there is now. Fucking,
oh, don't get me started on what pop music nowadays. Just Jesus Christ.
That's for Corey Taylor. That's for Corey Taylor to lamb off about. Or Kerry Kin.
Some of the openings are getting too long because it's like catching up to the manga, so they're like making the openings super long.
I think that's One Piece.
One Piece, yeah, that's the perfect example. It's right there.
It's got it.
Yeah, like,
that's a long opening.
So you gotta skip all the way, so far into the, you got at the bottom of the screen to get into the actual show. It's terrible.
I don't mind that song, but it is too long. Like, I mean, an opening's supposed to be like standard times 1 minute 30 seconds. Like, this fucking thing's going on for 2 minutes 30, and I'm like, and I don't even watch One Piece. I'm just sitting there because, like, Claudio will say to me, like, here's a clip from One Piece, check it out, and I'm just like, opening thing 2 minutes, and I'm like looking at the watch 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, where's the fight scene you told me about?
Yeah, it's outrageous. It's outrageous. Gintama's kind of bad too, I swear.
Gintama, really?
Yeah.
Gintama's getting that long. Oh man.
It's not
because
2
I like
minutes.
The Gintama openings.
Wait, it's not 2 minutes or anything, but like because they're following, they're following the manga too. You know what I mean? So like they want more, the show to be a little compressed. Let's say,
At least they're willing to put effort into making openings and shit with them.
That's true.
Yeah. In modern American, modern Western cartoon, that's a big fan of Western animation. The openings are just like they're almost non-existent now. Like you have Adventure Time, which I think that show's coming to an end. Steven Universe, and you have the new DuckTales. Thank God.
What about Netflix Castlevania? That had a pretty good opening, I'd say.
To be fair, that had a really cool opening, but in terms of the visuals and animations, but I'm talking about like the catchy song, the Transformers theme, the Ninja Turtles theme.
X-Men.
Like X-Men. But and of course, like we can't. And for the original DuckTales theme, in the words of Nostalgia Critic, it will never leave.
DuckTales, woo!
But like the last like even like the Thundercats reboot back in 2011, which was really damn good. Didn't have a remix of the original Thundercats theme song, which, by God, that beats the shit out of like 90% of the current anime openings I have watched
really?
throughout my life.
I'm gonna look that up.
Like, in terms of animation, in terms of just the sheer music and how much it gets you hyped up, it's fucking phenomenal. And yet, here comes this reboot, this superior reboot. Sorry, it's better than the original show, but with a better story, with superb animation, and then you just get like a do, and then like Thundercat, and then like just a title card, and then that's it. And that's it. I'm like, fuck you. Like the last real great opening theme song I can think of was Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which their theme was done by Bad City.
I don't know it.
And you will look it up. Type in "Fight as One." That's what the song is called.
Okay.
And it's like, and in season 2 they fucked up because it's just like, oh, we have Nick Fury recap, and then we'll just have like the last bit of the song play. It's like, fuck you.
Oh god, I used to hate that in cartoons when I was a kid. When it was like you had the first season was the opening, and then come the second season with the cast change or the characters' designs changed because they aged or cut their hair differently. It was like, oh, no opening theme. It was like previously on insert name of show, and then like last second of the song, like da 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 da, and then you're like, fuck you.
No, it wasn't even that. It was like Nick Fury just narrating the same thing at the beginning of each episode.
Oh
like,
man.
Each of the characters.
Do you know what was like? Sorry, okay, go on.
I was finished.
I was going to say, do you know what was a pretty dope opening theme was the opening for X-Men Evolution. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Oh, I loved the X-Men Evolution so fucking. I was watching that when that was airing on Kids WB. I believe it was Kids WB.
I think it was.
It's not Cartoon Network.
Yeah. It was so good, that opening theme. Like, obviously it's not as great as the 90s cartoon, but it is good. So whenever I hear people saying like, oh man, X-Men Evolution is shit, that opening theme was so shit, I'm like, bruh, it's if you compare it to anything now, and even back then when I was a kid watching it, the opening theme was great. It was fucking fantastic. Oh, but yeah, like I won't lie, even a show like a Young Justice, like, I mean, as great as that show is, the opening theme is just so boring. I'm like, please.
It is.
Like, I mean,
have you seen Young Justice Abridged?
No, I've never knew there was an abridged one.
Yeah, they actually do fix that by having they actually do have a really cool opening theme.
That's awesome.
They abridge all sorts of DC animated stuff.
Oh, so they've done like the original DC animated universe as well?
No, they haven't done that. They've done Wonder Woman, Justice League War.
The movies, yeah.
Yeah, the movies.
Okay, all right, I get it. But yeah, but I still think when it comes to cartoons, no theme song can beat the original Batman the Animated Series theme. Like, that shit just makes you feel like such a fucking badass. And then second to that for me has to be the Batman Beyond one, because when I was a kid, that actually opened my eyes to the fact that there's heavy music. What is this shit? This is metal.
There's
yeah.
I don't know.
I just want to now we're running out of time, but I just want to ask you a few more.
Go ahead, yeah. Go ahead, yeah.
If you want to talk after the recording, we can. But let's see.
If you got shit to do, that's fine.
Let's see. Sorry, shit, I lost my fucking place. Oh yes. Okay, so today, I don't know, Michelle, if you saw my tweet, or Jacob, if you saw my tweet, but I got hit by the ad-pocalypse today. I went to my view thing and discovered a shit ton of my videos were demonetized, and I looked at all of them, and can you believe it? Fucking... How on earth are album reviews not suitable for advertisers? Like, I literally... I'll tell you. How is the band Oceano?
It's because
it's metal. But you know what? YouTube are racist because Oceano has a black guy as the vocalist, so they discriminated against Oceano. You fucking hypocrites.
I know. It's like, I've had shit like my My Hero Academia episodes 1 through 2 review were taken down. I'm like, I looked at the title, I looked at the tags, looked at the description. How the fuck did the bot hit it? Why did the bot hit it?
Did you know why? The bot, when they were programming it, YouTube thought it would be a genius idea to get people who, identify hate groups on. And one of these groups were the idiots who said that Pepe the Frog is a fucking, hate symbol or whatever. And I sat there like, really? Really? You got those people there. So I bet you it was those people who are like, anime is bad, fucking metal is bad, and anything that's...
Wrestling? Wrestling is on the blacklist too. Which it's like... Which I'm like, so okay, so I'm assuming, let's say UFC isn't, but wrestling is.
No, UFC is too. It's all anything.
Oh, it is?
Anything they're considering it brutality. Any type of fighting.
Anything brutal.
What about football?
It's terrible.
What about football?
You know what? I don't know.
Football.
I don't know about football, but I do know that every war game, anything that's got to do with UFC or WWE or even old ass WCW videos from way back are getting hit too.
Yeah, and the war thing is stupid as well because like you're practically deleting war evidence as well. That's like, oh, the Holocaust never happened, and then you got like the Holocaust deniers going like, yeah, we got that shit going, yeah, fuck yeah, they're having a field day.
It's horrible. This is horrible, really. Honestly, I'm pissed off about the whole this whole adpocalypse bullshit, this family-friendly bullshit. I've been hit too. A lot of my stuff got demonetized because of horror games, because blood was in it, or because there's
tomato sauce.
Huh?
Oh.
Because you had tomato sauce, and then they were like,
it's
blood, get rid of it.
all of my 7 mortal sins videos got hit. I'm like, is it because the word sins was in there?
Probably.
Yeah. Anything religious,
anything
religious, yeah. No, if it doesn't matter what religion, if it has anything that's got to do with religion at all, it's gonna get flagged.
You're a right-wing conservative. Oh,
it's like,
man.
what? Oh, Jesus, fuck. This is why it's like, I'd rather be hit with a copyright claim than a demonetization claim. Because copyright claims, if the company doesn't give a shit, within 30 days it's gone.
Yeah.
But with this new demonetization bullshit, you have, it needs to get 1,000 views within 7 days before it can be looked at.
Yeah, that's total BS, honestly.
I know.
And I love how Susan Wojcicki replies with, I've started my own channel. I'm like, really? Really?
And it's like, oh, you started your own channel. Like, wasn't that video like only like a minute with her and like a rest of the celebrities?
She was in the video for 6 fucking seconds. And the rest of it was like, she even gets Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in, who, let's be honest, he doesn't need a YouTube channel because he makes enough fucking money as it is.
But he has one. He has a YouTube channel.
One. And oh my god! And the cringiest part about that video, apart from her segments at the end and some of these other people who aren't YouTubers, they came from like, I don't know, Instagram or whatever. At the end, she has these cringy outtakes, and one of them is, I don't know what possessed Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he can be cool and all in some of his movies, but like, what possessed him to be like in the cut where he's like, oh hey, President Obama. Oh yeah, like President Obama calls him up every fucking day. I don't think so.
Yes.
And even if he does, fucking hell, stop it. We get it. You're friends with him. Stop it. Oh my god.
I don't.
Oh, that's why I say, you know what the thing is this. I am a person who believes that literally politics literally should just stay out of art. If you want to put a political message in there, do it in a way where it's more of a thought-provoking thing and not, like propaganda.
Yeah,
and this is
exactly.
And nowadays it's just becoming propaganda. That's why I can't fucking stand Marvel's comic book line, and I like sit there and I'm like, oh.
I read the first few issues of Marvel's America.
And
it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, that's what we were waiting for. Confirmation, you heard it here, folks.
This isn't about politics, though. This is about money. This isn't about politics.
They closely interlinked.
They done fucked up. They done fucked up because their shit is so fucking automated. That's why.
Yeah.
You had ads running on jihadist videos, neo-Nazi videos, a bunch of other shit. And I think Google, when the advertisers pulled out, I believe Google lost almost $1 billion in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Like 750 million, I think it was.
Yeah, it was a huge chunk. It was a massive chunk.
I mean, it's like you can't. It's like now we are suffering for their stupidity.
Yep.
But it's so hypocritical of the advertisers, because I don't know if you saw HCH's recent video. Like, I mean, for like forever now, if you turn on the TV to see an update on whatever's going on in the news, whether it's a tragic event or not, you've got those same brands, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, all that shit, advertising their shit while these people are reporting on the stuff, but when it comes to the internet, it's like, oh, you people are being too insensitive. Sorry, we're gonna take it away now. So it's like I agree with Ethan fully there. I was like, yeah, like what a double standard. Like, oh my fucking gosh. So
there's also
we don't have the FCC on us. You know what I'm saying? We basically have freedom of speech being on the internet. We have our own channels. We can say what we want to say. We can influence people. And that we don't have, like, because everything on TV, on the media that you see, like on the news and stuff, FCC is regulating that. They're saying you can say this, but you can't say that. You can say this, but you can't say that. But they can't do that to us. So that's why we have, like, these bots and shit. It's like, okay, this is our FCC, but it's not, ours isn't put together, let's say, as well.
Wasn't put together properly.
To single out, yeah, exactly, to single out what's good and what's bad.
Yeah.
We just have, like, a bunch of bots that are like, okay, this is bad, this is good, this is bad.
Because do these people honestly think that if you're a person who watches Raka Raka videos or listens to fucking Cannibal Corpse, do they honestly think you're going to go out there and be like, oh, I saw Cannibal Corpse music video, now I'm going to pick up a knife and I'm going to do that shit outside, yeah. I don't think so.
Terrible.
But it's an age-old argument. Yeah, yes. It's an age-old thing. They will never win with it, whether it's the left or the right trying to argue against it. It's like such a bullshit thing. No one, they can't come up with the evidence. They'll never be able to win that shit. So it's just a matter of time before something happens, whether it's YouTube 2.0 or whether someone takes over YouTube. We don't know what it's going to be, but it will come around calm as a bitch. So
I can see if VidMe implements the same monetization deal that YouTube has, because the one reason people, I think, aren't just flocking to VidMe, flooding to VidMe, is either or any other site, is either their fan base is just so huge that they can't afford to put all the resources there. It's more of a slow burn type of thing.
Yeah.
But B, it's because YouTube's monetization system, for as much as we fucking hate it, it's easy.
Yes.
I mean, we bitch about YouTube. It's easy. It's simple. It doesn't, it's just like, it's a couple clicks here and there.
It's also,
boom, you're done.
Yeah.
It's also the upload thing. Like YouTube, you've got unlimited upload limits, and VidMe, it's like you've only got a couple of gigs per month before it refreshes, unless you're verified or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't have enough servers. Yeah. They're not a big enough company yet to have, enough resources to have everybody uploading, like 2 videos a day. Like,
yeah.
Oh, but I do absolutely love this one feature that makes transferring videos from your YouTube channel to your VidMe channel so much easier.
Yes.
When you just copy the link, paste the link in this little thing, click OK, and then within
they have that?
few minutes,
yes,
they have that.
That's it. I'm making a VidMe. That's it.
Do it.
Just do it.
I didn't know you could do that, because I was like, well, I got all my videos on YouTube, and I'd have to restart everything over there. I just didn't, it just seemed like work. I don't like that.
That pesky thing work.
Yeah. Oh gosh, no, but you should do that, Michelle. It's really easy and simple, and if you need our help to show you, we'll just show you how.
Cool.
Okay, alrighty. I think we'd better leave the podcast side of things over here. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and Jacob, thank you so much for joining us and for being our guest today.
It's been awesome.
Sweet, man, sweet. And you're more than welcome to come back anytime for the other podcast series that we'll be doing, the AnimetalKast, which will be starting very, very soon. So if the topic comes up and you would like to talk about it, you're more than welcome to join us.
Okay, sure.
Nice. Okay, so thanks again, guys, for listening. Now, remember, guys, please be sure to check out the description box below. The links to Jacob's channel and the social media accounts will be there. Also, be sure to check out my friend Michelle's channel. Show her some love and support as well. Also, guys, you can follow me on all my different social media in the description box. And you can check out my Patreon for the awesome reward tiers and to keep both channels going. And, yeah, guys, thanks again for listening. So, until the next episode, take care of yourselves, and as always, have a kick-ass day.
Bye!
Woo!
Later.
Hey guys, thanks again for tuning in. I do hope you enjoyed the show. Please, once again, be sure to check out Jacob's channel. The link is in the description box below, and it's also linked here at the end of the video. Also, be sure to check out my friend MeShellTiel's channel as well, and be sure to check out all the relative links to my social media accounts if you want to stay up to date with the channel and to who else is going to be on the podcast next. Also, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and share this video with your friends. Also, leave a comment in the comment section below. And yeah, guys, if you want to support the channel, then be sure to check out my Patreon as well. There are lots of cool, awesome reward tiers that you can have access to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for tuning into the 6th episode, and until the next video, take care of yourselves, and as always, have a kick-ass day.